Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yasha Allah, Kuhaloimala Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say Thawada to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachan on the wall. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And I just wanted to just touch on a quick little article. Well, I pulled this one up on YouTube, but I was actually watching it on Euronews, or I think Reuters. It might have been Reuters News. Let me see. Still got it going in the backdrop. Yep, on Reuters. And they have the Chinese car show going on over there right now. Not sure if it's how long theirs lasts, but like how they have the auto shows here in America. I think they do them out west. I know here they do them in Detroit. They show like some the top notch shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of great vehicles. Most of them are concept cars that would never come out and hit the market anyway. But they show their stuff. But shit, man, over there in China, man, they killing the game, bro. They got some dope shit. Like for real, for real. Matter of fact, you know what? I should have pulled up. Let me just get this title here real quick. It says China clears way for first pilotless flying taxis. And that was one of the things that they had at the auto show. I was like, damn, and that shit look dope. But they SUVs, it's just it's like they have so much more intuition, so to speak, when it comes to their technology and stuff like that. Man, they light years away from America, man. I just really got to say it when I I was looking at it. But let me just put in China's car show. Maybe it'll come up. Oh, here we go, right here. They got some shit, bro. Straight up. Okay, that was 2024, 7 months ago. We want. Oh, where's the new shit? Okay, this was oh, this was a day ago. So this one is like 2 hours long. I don't really want to get into that. But look at, see these pods right here? China has launched new generation transport, shocking the U.S. That was 3 months ago. So these people are far beyond. See, something like this right here in America, it would take 100 fucking years just for licenses to go through, permits to go through, whatever, man. Everybody got to get paid. You need a fucking lawyer. You need a damn doctor. You need every fucking thing to start something here. But see, with China, they just get an idea and they run with it. You know what I'm saying? And they move on it. You know what I'm saying? It's too much red tape and bureaucracy here in America because these Edomites are too goddamn greedy. Everybody got to have a cut. You know what I'm saying? These people can't even decide on fixing potholes, man. It'll take them 10 years, man, to put together enough money to for some fucking potholes. Let me see, check this one. I think this was one of them that I seen, but I'm looking like all the shit they were showing was dope as shit, and a lot of it was electric stuff. But let's see here. That one's pretty simple. That was 11 months ago. But they had the car where basically, if you're watching a movie in the car, the fucking car move as if you're in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. Like, all the stuff that they had, they tech, man, is just far beyond America. But what I wanted to get was, let me get this real quick script. Because when I thought about it, the reason why America is so far behind is because they have the gods, which are the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They have the gods in prison. They have the gods dunking basketballs. They have the gods throwing footballs in the NFL. They have the gods, doing drugs and selling drugs. Instead of, you have us in captivity, you would think that they would use, the captivity that they have us in, because they have to know that we have the most brilliant minds. But see, they want to only use Jake for entertainment. and that's what their problem is. See, you've locked the gods down. See, when we was in slavery, they was able to just do what they wanted to do. And see, Jake was a lot, was innovative to try and make jobs easier. So Jake came up with a lot of shit. Jake, created the cotton gin and, just shit to make shit easier for life. And that's overall what the Chinese do. That's what they're actually doing. When I was looking at their tech, and they was going off into a lot of their stuff. They just making stuff real simple, really very easy. Japan is like that too. Those Asian companies, they're like that. And a lot, India, a lot of those different countries, their tech is way beyond America because America's too fucking greedy. You see? And then at the same time too, America has shipped a lot of the jobs over into these countries, like Apple. You think that shit, all these different companies that do have somewhat of some innovativeness, if that's a word, they're all shipped over to these other countries. But in the meanwhile, they got Jake in jail, which is, I'm telling you, Jake is the most brilliant people on the fucking planet, bro. Matter of fact, let me see. It's in the New Testament and the Old, because we're gods, man. But the scripture says that we'll die like, let me see. I think it's in Psalms. Psalms 82:6. It says, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. So we're gods, man. We have that even in captivity, even in slavery. We're the most innovative and most influential people on the planet. Why you think everybody's trying to be like a Negro? Why you think all these other countries, you know what I'm saying? They're you think that you in a nigga's neighborhood when you go to anywhere you go. Even the so-called white kids, you know what I'm saying? They want to be like Jake, man. Chinese, Japanese, no matter where you go, our style has, permeated the earth, have absorbed the earth, but we just don't get no credits. We don't get nothing out of it because we're in captivity and, we're, just downtrodden at this point. But still, even in our lowest point, us being gods at our lowest point, we're still better than the other nations. So if Esau would just give the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans a shot, that's why you'll see like a lot of over the past couple of years, it's been like even really young so-called black kids, young, so-called Hispanics and Native American kids that have been, like fucking coming up with inventions at like 8, 9, 10 years old. They graduating fucking college, and they're becoming, because we have those minds. We can do that. It's just that Esau, he doesn't want us for that, so to speak. He wants to keep us dumbed down. He wants to keep us with a damn Newport cigarette hanging off the edge of our lip. He want to keep us in the hood with a 40 bottle in our hand. You know what I'm saying? And then from that, Jake could go to jail. And best talent that Jake is using in a damn jail cell is he's making some type of furniture or some clothing or sewing some shit for some corporation anyway, for pennies on the dollar. So that's where Esau has fallen off. See, he doesn't understand that. See, he has the best product in the world as far as the Israelites, but he has stomped it out. You know what I'm saying? It's really very stupid. But it's all about the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. So now, pretty much overall, this is where Esau is at right here. And all these nations going to get the business anyway. Deuteronomy 30:7. It says, and the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's going through it because of the way that he's treated the children of Israel. He's in his lot. He's doing what he was supposed to do as far as having us in captivity. But the shit that this motherfucker done, he took the shit just way too far, man. This motherfucker is just, goddamn, slavery 2.0. He's still at it, man. But the most brilliant minds in the world are in prisons. They're on the street corners. They are, just somewhere, just fucking around, just fucking off, man. Because even, the scriptures even talks about how Jake is wise to do evil. Let me see if I can find that. Jake is whatever Jake get into, I don't give a fuck. If it's tennis, if it's I don't give a fuck. I don't care what sport it is. When Jake get into that shit, he takes it over. Whatever it is. And see, again, they just figure that we're just, talent as far as, muscle wise, and we're athletic and stuff like that. No, motherfucker, our brains work just like that too. We're just as brilliant. How you think even in athletics, the shit that Jake be doing, that takes brain power, man. But see, Esau, he understands that he needs to. That's why you see movies like Get Out. When the so-called white man was like, basically, if I can have his muscle stature, or if I can have his abilities, bodily wise or physically with my brain, see, because the scripture talks about how, I can get that too. um, where it talks about one will be stronger than the other. Esau and Jacob, the twins that were born. Let me see. Yep, Jeremiah 4:22. It says, "For my people is foolish; they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge." And the reason why, overall, Jake learned from Esau. Our learning, until you come into this truth, and the Lord, he cleans your ass up. Overall, Jake is nothing but a white black person, so to speak. Because all he knows is Esau's system. All he knows is being wicked because he's been in captivity to the wicked. I think that's that scripture in where it talks about. Let me go into the Apocrypha real quick. I think it's Ecclesiasticus. Is it? Let's see, Salaki, bear with me. Yep. Ecclesiasticus 10:3, it says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited." So Esau, he's an unwise king because he destroyed even his own people, but he destroyed even, it's like having a car and abusing it. You just driving over all the potholes. Matter of fact, you driving it towards the potholes instead of dodging them. You don't give a fuck about the oil change. You see the bitch smoking. The tires is bald. You can see, you know what I'm saying. Esau, he just runs the shit until it's just out of gas and just broken down. But it says, verse 4, "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set up over it one that is profitable." So when our Lord comes, he's gonna, set us back in place where they're gonna see the true godliness of our people. But let me start from the top. Verse 1, that's where I should have started at. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 1, "A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of the prudent man is well ordered." So this man, he has, again, put his best. It's almost like, putting your best weapon to the side when you're outgunned. It's like 50 people shooting at you, but you out there with the knife, but you got guns though. You know what I'm saying? This man, he's stupid as hell. That's why the scripture calls him a base man. Verse 2, it says, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein." So the people are acting just like the ruler. And now you have Trump all of a sudden, but Esau in general, the ruler of the earth, they're incompetent people, man. They're just not fit to rule, and they don't make good choices like that. So since slavery ended, so to speak, it's because we're still in captivity. I'm talking about the way that slavery was back then. See, when they was able to just whip Jake down, run off into the shack and, grape grandmama and, do all these nasty things and use, had Jake in chattel slavery, having sex with his mama and just creating damn new offspring so he can have more field workers and shit like that. Back then when he had Jake was creating stuff. Creating boats, barges, easier ways to get production done faster and quicker, innovative stuff. So if Jake had just those opportunities today, and they had the same type of schooling, because when you go, like say for instance where I live at, here in Detroit, man, the schools are raggedy as hell. You go just a couple of miles up the way, over into the next county where Esau is at, the so-called white man, they have the best tech, the best shit in the world. And they still have the dumbest kids. You go across a couple of miles away in another county, those so-called white kids, their high schools look like colleges, man, like universities. So just think if Jake had that same opportunity to have the upgrade microscopes, the best, the best biology classes, the best, thing, or just being on an even playing field with Esau, Jake will be out here, and it happens, but it's rare. You know what I'm saying? It's just far and few. Other than that, Jake just in the hood, just listening to some stupid ass rap music, man. Fucking his head up, off some drugs, man. But anyway, I kind of seen that. Well, let me get one more. Genesis chapter 25. I think like 23 or so. Let me start at verse 21. Genesis 25 and 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the older shall serve the younger. And Jacob is the Jacob is the younger. He's the stronger one, which is us, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're stronger mentally. We're stronger physically. We're stronger spiritually. We're just stronger than Esau is, because when he lose a job, you know, he this motherfucker jump out the window, man. He'll jump off a building if he lose a good job. Jacob just, fuck it, man. Go to the crib, have some drinks, whatever. Drink that shit off, man, and restructure and get try and just work at getting back on his feet. Not Esau, man. Esau lose a good job. He'll come home. He'll, off the wife, off the kids, off the dog, and then off himself. You know what I'm saying? Over little shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's not strong like that. And then he doesn't have a spiritual bone in his body, because he's the wicked that the Bible speaks of. So, I don't want to keep this long. It was just a lesson that, I just thought about it, like, fucking Moab over there killing Esau right now. You know what I'm saying? With their technology, man. And again, like I said, Japan, places like, man, they killing fucking Esau right now in the Americas, man. Killing them, bro. The shit they be, I ain't gonna front, man. Some earthly shit. Hey, China got some shit, man. I'm not gonna front, man. They definitely far outdoing, outpacing. Let me see this luxury minivan.
This is the Denza D9, and you know something's luxurious whenever you get in and it sounds like this. I get a 50-watt wireless charging pad, and I can close the door using this screen. My headrests are also adjustable. My seats are heated, ventilated, and massaging. I get a screen here, another one there, and if I want to video chat somebody, I just push this. I have storage space here, and a cooler right in there. I can also heat this area to keep my food nice and warm. And if I need a place to eat it, I have a built-in table, a built-in cup holder, and if I don't want glare on this screen, I have a built-in sunscreen shade. I can also fully recline here in the back, and if I want to take a nap, I can do this. Guanzhe Yonglin. I get wood here on my dash. I got a touchscreen that works super fast. I have a wireless charging pad, this gorgeous shifter, and I have fragrances that blow out of the vents. I also get a head-up display, a digital display, and built-in karaoke. This is the Denza D9, and you know...
Yeah, that's some cold shit, though. And they stuff don't even cost that much, bro. Here you go. You wouldn't get half of that shit here in the Americas, man, for $100,000, man. That van probably don't cost no more than about $20,000, $30,000 there, man. If that. Here's another. Let me see. Crazy. You trying to tell me that if Jake just had the schooling, if he had the resources to really study and to put his talents towards, man, Jake could blow all this shit out of the waters. Matter of fact, when the Lord comes, our tech is this shit right here gonna be like some Stone Age shit compared to the tech that the Lord has. You know what I'm saying? But this is they shit on the left hand side, But let's see this one.
BYD Yang Wang Yu8 can make a tank turn. Let me show you. BYD.
Crazy, bro. America not fucking with none of this shit, bro. Straight up. And we ain't gonna even go off into their housing and the like the way that they have Matter of fact, let's see. Let's just put in something here. Oh, it's a lot. But again, the purpose of me doing this lesson is to just show that Esau, he has the best weapon in the world in his arsenal, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? By having the Israelites in captivity, but he doesn't use it the way that he could. You know what I'm saying? And it's all, like I said, all about the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because they can't, they have a boundary that they can't cross anyway. Let me see. I'm just gonna put in Chinese tech and homes. Let's see what they got. Cause they be having some shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the shit they really do be having some shit, bro. Let's see this shit here. Let's see this. Oh, damn. See, this is what I'm talking about. Through. Through, bro. Yeah, they be on some shit, bro. Let's check this one out. Oh, this is Japanese, they be having some shit too, though. I ain't gonna front. Let's check out this Japanese video real quick. Okay, that went too major. You can find some shit like that in America, but it was dope, though. These motherfuckers got robotic waiters and shit. I know shit kind of look like a chick just know how to do the robot. Anyway, though, let me see. Either way, the point has been made, man. I just kind of want to just throw that out there that Esau, he's sitting on the best.
These are prefabricated houses that are being sold in China right now, The prices are quite affordable, certainly taking into account that they are practically luxury houses. And the most important, they can put this in a container, and they can send it to any country on the planet. These are prefabricated houses.
Yeah, they ain't letting them bitches come here without that tariff. Because when you think about it, see, Esau, he shoots himself in the foot, man. There's no, they've gotten people used to the Brady Bunch style house, you know what I'm saying? A fucking 4 or 5 bedroom, 3, 4 baths, and you only have 2, 3 motherfuckers living in that bitch, you know what I'm saying? With a 3-car garage. That shit is not even necessary, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you really look at this tiny home situation, I get it, you know what I'm saying, if you have children, but even with a tiny home, I can see additions to a tiny homes. But man, them tiny homes is dope. Shit, as far as like for somebody like me, because I'm on a dolo, shit, man, I wouldn't have no problems. I don't need a lot of space like that, you know what I'm saying? And then, us as Israelites, we're to be content with what we have anyway, you know what I'm saying? So shit, if your ass just got a damn garage and a fucking cot, you should be all right, as long as you out of the elements and the weather. But see, Esau, he's the one that wants to live up high and lofty, because that's a part of his his blessing, you know what I'm saying, that he will have the fatness of the earth. But let me see. Did we get this one already? Okay, I'm not even sure if that was trying, but hey, they got some dope shit though. One more, let's get one more. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, man, you get the point. You get the point, man. They got some shit, and they're far beyond Esau. And again, Esau, they have the best weapon in their arsenal, and they have thrown him in jail. You know what I'm saying? Got him out here selling dope to just survive. You know what I'm saying? Got him out here on child support. Got him out here working 3, 4 fucking jobs. You know what I'm saying? With his woman stressing the shit out of him. So they're reaping what they've sown, man. Those curses are starting to hit the asses because they haven't been a blessing to us, man. So you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's running around out here trying to save the so-called white man, your ass gonna go down right along with him. You should be laughing at this motherfucker right now. You know, well, I'm getting great joy out of seeing this clown fall, man. I people, man, at the plantation on a day-to-day basis, man. So I'm gonna end out there, man. I pray that they struggling, man. This place, these people are stressed and struggling. These people over in these other countries, Esau trying to make them seem like they're savages, but shit, they relaxed and chill. You know, they you know, the streets are clean. You know, they have respect and shit. They, you know, they have good customer service. You know, they're not all out here. You know, you don't hear about no damn school shootings. You don't hear about no, you know, they you know, it's crime everywhere, but not like how it is in this dusty ass America, man. So I pray that, you know, this lesson was edifying. With that, Kwame Ashala on the Bible Ball.